Good morning, everybody. Paul here from Warden's Farm. It's May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. And it's American Homebrewers Association Learn to Brew Day. So guess what we're doing today? We're making beer. So let's go out to my system and I'll show you what's going on. All right, as I walk out here to my outshed, this is where I happen to be a home brewer. So I'm not only a beekeeper, but I'm a home brewer. And I am a member of the American Homebrewers Association and a member of BAC Squared, which is Beer Alchemists of Coastal Carolina. So out here at my shed, we're gonna spin, and this is my brew kettle. And this over here is a fermenter. And it's got a coil that's inside here to help keep it cool on hot days. That's a blow-off valve, and it's got all kinds of stuff here. There's nothing like a good home brew after a day of working in the bees. Today, we are making a hazy New England IPA. That's the grains and the water down there, which is making wort. Wort is the term that's used for the beginning of making beer. When you're making beer, you got to go through a whole process. First, you got to get the grains, you got to crush the grains. You use distilled water, you got to add minerals to the water for the profile of the beer you're making. And there's many profiles of beer. And in this one, it used minerals of calcium chloride, magnesium, gypsum, and a few others in there. This here is what we call the brains of the system. And it's a 240 volt system, and it goes ahead and it has a heating element right there, just like what's inside of your hot water heaters. And all that does is it keeps the temperature at whatever you set it at. For wort, it's dependent upon the recipe, it's usually 148 to 150 for mashing in. Mashing in is where you're getting all the sugars out of that grain to make the wort. Because once you get that, then you have to boil it for probably an hour to an hour and a half, depending upon your recipe. And then once you get that done, then you got to cool it down. And you got to cool it down with a chiller. I have a chiller down here, and you'll hook up all these lines. It'll go from here, and it'll hook up into the wort in. It'll come out here when going to the fermenter when it's all hooked up. When it goes in there, it's about 200 degrees, and when it comes out, it'll be 70 degrees. Because all you do is you go ahead and you hook up a hose here, and the water temperature now for coming into this is right about 68, 70 degrees, the perfect temperature for pitching wort. And then you move that wort into this fermenter, and it'll go in through one of these valves right here. You open the valve and it goes in. Right now this tank is pressurized at 10 psi, and as it goes in, it bleeds out. In this batch, it's a 6-gallon batch. But the goal is to make a New England hazy IPA. And I've been pretty good at making beers. I've won awards, and it's a good thing to do. So as we say on this day, may the 4th be with you. It's a Learn to Brew Day from the American Homebrewers Association, and it's also a date that Congress set as your Learn to Brew Day or Homebrewers Day. Thank you, Jimmy Carter, I believe it was, our president at the time, who enjoyed homebrew beer. And this is an English porter that I made, and I'm enjoying it. Have a great day. Have fun with them bees, and if you're a home brewer, enjoy the day.